Hello, my name is Mark Krawczyk and I'm with Keyline Vermont, LLC, and I plan to share with you some of the details and considerations you ought to think about when building a raised bed. So let's begin by considering why a raised bed might be a useful strategy. First off, it elevates the planting surface, so it makes it that much more accessible as a space to grow. It just means there's less leaning and bending over. Secondly, it allows us to amend the planting medium by bringing in a material that we know is of high quality and fertility. It also can be a way for us to buffer ourselves against any contamination concerns like lead in our soils, so that the plant roots aren't actually growing in potentially contaminated soils. Building a raised bed is probably one of the simplest construction projects you could take on in the garden. The function of the perimeter walls of the bed really simply just serve to hold in whatever medium that you add to create your garden. So in this case, the walls of our bed are built from wood, but old bricks or new bricks, concrete blocks would all be potential options. What's important is we want to make sure we use material that is healthy and safe, so avoid pressure-treated lumber and painted wood. So when choosing the dimensions for your raised bed, it's really your choice as to what's going to work most practical for the space that you're in. Just make sure that you're able to reach the center of the bed from both sides so that it's as comfortable and as accessible as you can make it. The ultimate height of your raised bed is another decision that's ultimately up to you. It's going to cost more money in terms of materials and fill to build a higher bed, but it makes it that much more accessible, and it means you have that much greater depth of quality, highly fertile planting media. So in this case, we have a 2x8 bed that gives us roughly 8 full inches, but it may be that we want to build things up a little higher so there's less bending over, and so we'll simply add another frame on top of this. So now it's time to fill your raised bed, and you have a wide range of materials to choose from when doing so. But ideally, it includes a blend of a number of different ingredients to provide the best fertility needs for your plants, as well as the ideal drainage conditions. Here at Green Mountain Compost, they've created just a product that they call Raised Bed Mix, specifically formulated for this application. It includes compost for its fertility and water holding capabilities, topsoil for improved drainage, peat moss, which also helps retain moisture within the bed, and a mix of organic fertilizers. So it's all the things your plants need to thrive. If you're worried about weeds or grass coming back up in your finished raised bed, in some cases what I'll do is just lay down pieces of cardboard or newspaper. Avoid glossy newspaper. You want to go for the actual newsprint, and just lay that down along the perimeter of the bed, overlapping any seams, and that's just going to serve as a weed barrier to kill any of the vegetation that lies underneath. So calculating the volume of raised bed mix you need is actually a pretty easy thing to do. All you need is a tape measure and a calculator. So begin by measuring the length of your bed. Remember to measure between the end walls. Measure the width and the height. So we had 10 feet by 2'8" by 16 inches high. And we multiply those three numbers together in order to figure out the total volume of the bed. That works out to roughly 1.25 cubic yards, which is the way that compost and topsoil products are sold. All things told, that works out to roughly just shy of 9 of these wheelbarrows full. So your bed is full. Just spend a little time raking it out, making it nice and even, and you are ready to plant in your new raised bed.